continuation betting in Texas Hold'em. In this video, we won't just read definitions, we'll cover key decisions, common mistakes, and real-time actions. In Texas Hold'em, there's a classic scenario. You raise from the button with ace-king, and the player in the big blind calls. The flop comes jack, 7, 2, with 3 different suits. You completely miss the flop, holding only ace-high. The big blind checks. Now the action is on you. Do you check behind, or do you bet? If you are an experienced player, you will likely choose to bet. This bet is known as a continuation bet, or c-bet. It is the most fundamental, common, and powerful weapon in post-flop Texas Hold'em. Definition: if you were the last raiser pre-flop, meaning you have the initiative and you continue betting on the flop, that is a c-bet. Mathematical probability: in Texas Hold'em, any 2 unpaired cards, like ace-king or queen-jack, have only about a 32% chance of hitting a pair or better on the flop. This means both you and your opponent will miss 2/3 of the time. Since everyone is likely to miss, whoever showed strength pre-flop and continues to apply pressure post-flop will win the pot. Your opponent can't easily call with air. It's very difficult for an opponent to call your c-bet with an air hand like 8-9. Although c-bets are incredibly powerful, they shouldn't be abused 100% of the time. Here are some of the best situations to c-bet. Dry boards, like king 8-2 rainbow or queen 7-3, make it very difficult to form straight or flush draws. If your opponent called your pre-flop raise, they likely missed these disconnected cards. A half-pot c-bet here will often win the pot immediately. In these situations, a small c-bet of half-pot or less is highly effective at taking down the pot. If you are facing only one opponent, your c-bet success rate increases dramatically because only one person needs to fold. Facing a single opponent makes c-betting highly profitable compared to multi-way scenarios. If there are 3 or 4 players in the pot, the probability of someone hitting the flop rises exponentially. C-betting with air here is financial suicide. If you raised pre-flop with a small pair like 6s and the flop comes ace 7-2, even though you didn't hit a set, that ace is highly favorable for you. Because you raised pre-flop, you're representing strong hands like ace-king or ace-queen. Your opponent will find it very difficult to call. An opponent holding a hand like pocket 9s or 10s will face a miserable decision against your c-bet and will likely fold. The most common mistake beginners make is mindless c-betting, betting blindly regardless of board texture or the number of opponents. You must check in the following situations. Wet boards like 9-10 jack monotone or 8-9 queen are highly connected and filled with straight, flush, and 2-pair possibility. On these boards, your opponent is highly likely to have hit something or have a strong draw. C-betting with air here is extremely risky. If you c-bet with air on a wet board, you will likely get called or raised, burning valuable chips. As we discussed in previous videos, calling stations hate to fold. Do not try to bluff them with a c-bet if you miss. If you didn't hit the flop, do not attempt to bluff a calling station. They will call you down with very weak holdings. Against them, you simply need to value bet heavily when you hit a strong hand. Never waste chips bluffing. When there are 3 or more players in the pot, you must proceed with extreme caution. In multi-way pots, the likelihood of someone holding a strong hand is high, so bluffing becomes highly unprofitable. Unless you hit top pair with a top kicker or better, c-betting with air in a multi-way pot is a very expensive mistake. C-bet sizing is an art. Beginners often bet too large, such as full pot, which wastes chips and easily exposes their hand strength. On dry boards, betting 1/3 to 1/2 of the pot is usually enough. If they missed, they fold to a small bet. If they hit, they call a big bet anyway. This sizing allows you to get the maximum fold equity at the lowest possible cost. On wet boards, if you hit a strong hand, like top pair or 2-pair, you need to bet 2/3 to 3/4 of the pot to charge drawing opponents. This is to charge opponents who are drawing to straights or flushes, reducing their pot odds and denying them a cheap card. Mastering the c-bet is a critical step in transitioning from a beginner to an advanced, winning poker player. Remember, the core logic of a c-bet is to leverage your pre-flop initiative and mathematical probabilities to win the pot. Before deciding to c-bet, always ask yourself, is the board dry or wet? How many opponents am I facing? And what type of player is my opponent? When you master the timing and sizing of c-bets, you will find yourself winning pots consistently, even when you miss the flop. Real progress isn't about memorizing terms. It's about making fewer mistakes in your next session. Add these c-bet rules to your review list.